Okay, just wanted to make a very short tutorial, more of an explainer really, just to give you an overview of a couple of my really favorite new things in Artmatic 6, or Artmatic Designer as it's now called. These are just a few little workflow things that have been introduced into the Artmatic interface, which I think are amazingly cool. So I've just got a very simple system here, and what I'm going to do is add some components to it. I'll just type the 2 key, that'll give me another component with 2 outputs. I type the 3 key, I'll get another component, this time with 3 outputs, and the 4 key gives me a component with 4 outputs. I can obviously add components here if I wanted to do that, but I just really like using the number keys because it makes things a bit faster. Let's just add another component in between these two. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just select a component, and I'll shift select the component at the end here, and make a new compile tree by typing the N key. Now, that's something we've been able to do in Artmatic 5, so nothing new there. I'm just going to change this to the bump so that it's a bit more solid, like that. So that's a compile tree that's been created in situ. So look inside there, you can see they're the components that were there before. So nothing new there. But here's what's new. I'm just going to select 2 components inside here, and I'm going to type the N key again. So you'll see I just got a compile tree inside the compile tree, and by typing the E key I can go in there, and you can see there are the 2 components that I had. I type E to go back out again. I'm just toggling in between that compile tree and the inside of the tree. So that's a toggle. Now if I want to go back out to the top of the tree, I press the escape key. And that will take me right back to the top of the tree. So just to recap on what just happened there, we've got a compiled tree that I created in situ. Typing the E key, we go into that compiled tree, and we see there's another compiled tree inside there. By typing E again, we've gone into that compiled tree. Now that's pretty cool, and you can do that as much as you want. So if I want to, I'm now in the bottom level of that tree. Let's just add some components here. I can make a compiled tree inside there as well. So let's just go back out again. Oh no, that's going in, so we're looking inside that tree. We'll go right out to the top, and we're going to go in through the tree. So we're in the top level, now we're in the second level, now we're in the third level, now we're in the fourth level. Now I haven't experimented to see exactly how far you can do this, but I've done a few complex trees, and it's pretty resilient, I've got to say. You can also, obviously, in any of these levels, you can add more components just as you would normally editing the tree. So you're actually just working as if you're in any standard tree, and you just keep on going in there. Not only that, I'll just go back out to the top again. So I'm going into the second level here, and I can add a component here, let's say, and I can select these 2, and I can have a new compiled tree there as well. So now I have, let's go back out to the top again. I'm just typing either escape or the E key, I just remind you of that. So escape takes me right to the top of the tree. The E key will toggle between a compiled tree and whatever's inside it. Okay, so I'm going, because that component was selected, I've gone back down in one level as well. So I'm just going right out to the top, that's escape, right out to the top, and going back in there. And as long as I don't have another compiled tree selected, it'll just toggle between the level that I was at before and the inside. If I select another one, I'm going to go down one more, which is where I've gone. So now I'm toggling between the second level and the deeper level. And I can select the other component and do the same thing. It's got another compiled tree inside it. You can immediately see that you can get very, very, very lost with these kinds of things. So it does make sense to keep a very logical method in place for dealing with this added level of flexibility and complexity with Artmatic 6. But it's amazing. You can do some just phenomenally wonderful things. Okay, so that's one thing that we can do. So I'm going to delete that. So keeping in mind that I'm right at the top level of the tree now, so I'm going to delete that particular component. And what's going to happen here, of course, is that I'm going to lose everything inside it. So we just basically to a one component tree again, because I want to show you another thing. So let's just add a couple of components here. I'm just going to turn this into a 2-in 1-out component, and I'm going to make a branching component which is similar, and I'm going to join these 2 components together, and I'm going to turn this one into a line. So I'll just make some alterations in this component. I'm going to move the rotation. Let's just take the amplitude. Well, let's take it right up. Okay, so I've just altered a number of parameters inside this component. And here's the other really cool thing that we can now do. I'm going to copy that component. So just by doing Command C or using the standard Apple copying mechanisms, copy it, I'm going to paste it. So now I can copy a component with all the parameters that I've selected for that component, and as long as I select another component with the same number of inputs and outputs, I can now copy that component across every single part of it. Here's the even cooler thing. So I'm just adding some more components in here. I've just selected that and I've shift selected the next component. I'm going to make that into a compiled tree as I just did before by typing the N key. And here's the thing, I can copy that by using Command C and I can paste that as well. So now I can copy and paste compiled trees. You can see immediately this is going to give you a lot of power because you can create awesomely complex, awesomely intricate trees using these methods. It's truly fantastic. I'll just show you something from one of the systems that I've been working on. So I'll just get rid of all of these. Just turn this into a 2 in 3 out component. Okay, and I better save it somewhere. Oops, save as. Let's override that test file. I've just saved that particular system because I'm going to select a recent system that I've been working in. So it's a fairly complex system, you can see here. No compiled trees in here though, so it's simple as far as most of my systems go. I'm going to shift click that so the whole tree is now selected, make it into a compiled tree so I can copy that. Now I'll find my test file again, don't need to save that, and I'm going to paste by just doing Command V. I've just pasted that entire system. I've gone out of one whole system into another system and the copy paste is remembered across those different systems and I've pasted it into that system. And I can do that from any other system. So if I have something else somewhere that I really like, I'll just show you that. Let's just make a side branch on there. Make it a 2 in and 3 out. And I'll just save that again. And I'll find, let's just find another one of these. As long as it's a 2 in, 3 out, which is what I had in that other system, we'll make that into a new one, copy it, go back to our test file, and I can now paste that in there. You can't see anything happening here, of course, because these two trees are not terminated, so I'll just terminate it. You can see one's overlaid on the other there. Not a very interesting thing to happen, but what we effectively have here is a tree inside that compiled tree and a different one inside that compiled tree, and they've been copied and pasted in their entirety from other systems and put into this new system. So you can build up very useful libraries, little components and things that you might want to use. It's a much faster way of working than the old way of saving the compiled trees as their own compiled trees. This way just means that you can do things very rapidly and create, as you can see, extremely complex trees. So I hope you really get as much of a buzz out of using that stuff as I do, because I think it's just one of the most fantastic things in Artmatic, and it's made things possible that you just couldn't do before. So have fun with it.